Hi, it's Randi Rhodes. Hope you enjoy this free clip from Political Voices Network.
President Biden's campaign responding to the town hall overnight with a tweet reading, "It's simple, folks. Do you really want 4 more years of that?"
No.
While urging people who don't to donate to his reelection.
I mean,
Randy, one thing I know for sure that all narcissistic douchebags have in common is that they refer to themselves in the third person.
do they?
Everyone.
So sad and sick and twisted and ugly. And listen, people are upset with, CNN. People are upset with Caitlin Collins. People are upset with, a whole. I got news for you. The only thing that really freaks me out is the deal that's being done, and it's going to be awful. That's all I could tell you. This is going to be horrendous. We're about to live through 2016 and 2020 all over again, and Trump is going to expect a different result. Why? Because listen, he showed you last night, and so did every pundit. What's that? The guy from Florida who's on the CNN panels now. They're all saying, Pence should have given it to the legislature. Should have given it to the legislature. Let the legislature. That's what's in the Constitution. That the legislature chooses the manner in which the electors are selected. I mean, obviously, he's going to try this again. He's going to be the Republican nominee. This is going to be awful. You could be mad at whoever you want to be mad at, but this is the reality in which we toil. This is the America in which you and I live. This is the America in which you and I are trying to raise children, in which you and I are trying to keep roofs over our head, in which you and I are trying to make sense out of the world that we, toil in. That is where we are. And, the amount of violence and hatred and, the amount of stoking of those rage-filled, people, it's all about to, reach its pinnacle. And it's really up to us what happens. This is what Biden has been calling an inflection point, and he's correct. This is an inflection point. This is like, I've said this over the years. Can you imagine if the United States was not as lucky as it was during World War II? Now, I wasn't alive. My father served in World War II. It was like the defining moment of his life. He was never okay when he came home after that because of what he saw. That said, we had FDR. They had various autocrats across Europe, right? They had Franco in Spain, that his name came up the other day. Obviously, the big one, Adolf, right? Then you had Mussolini over there in Italy. Okay, you had the Vichy French, who were, very pro-Nazi and were very anti, the French who wanted to hide people from extermination on their farms and in their homes, right? So you had FDR here, and I've always marveled at how lucky we were, what a great break we got, that was the president at the time. Well, we're about to figure out whether or not we have another lucky break and we get a decent president, in 2024, 2025 is January 6, 2025, would be the certification day for whoever prevails in this particular election cycle known as 2024. But it's already started. That's what last night was about. Last night was about the kickoff for the primary. Donald Trump clearly is going to be the Republican primary winner, clearly, okay? And some really heinous deal has been struck. So here's the way I see it. You can tell me if you think I'm right. You could tell me if you think I'm wrong. But if you think I'm wrong, you have to tell me why. Okay, so Fox has thrown Donald Trump overboard. Why? Because Donald Trump's big lie cost them almost $1 billion, okay, in jury verdicts. And they had to get rid of, various people who were, pretending to, push back against big lie, but really were all about the big lie, whatever, right? And yet, so they've picked another candidate. They have picked, obviously, Murdoch is done with Trump. And it looks like he has selected for himself and for his brand to endorse a Ron DeSantis. But Ron DeSantis hasn't declared himself a candidate. And so there's really not that much excitement about that particular autocrat. And DeSantis is disgusting. Okay. DeSantis, disgusting. There's no question. You know, if you just look at the couple of last things he did in the past week, Ron DeSantis has just banned Chinese citizens of this here country from buying more than 2 acres of land in Florida because they're a threat to American security. I mean, I'm just saying. But what happened here is obviously Fox has thrown Donald Trump to the side. They're done with him. CNN, with their new guy, Chris Licht, you got to know when you're licked all over, Chris Licht has decided that the only barrier between the ratings that Fox had by endorsing Donald Trump and that whole ride for, 7 years, and CNN, is that CNN stands in its own way. And so why not make a deal with Donald Trump and support Donald Trump through this election cycle and enjoy some great ratings at CNN? And that's what I think is going on, okay? Jeff Zucker tried it when Jeff was there in 2016. You know, he aired every single one of Donald Trump's rallies, every single one of them. And CNN did okay. They did okay. But this is a corporate media business, and that is the decision that you saw, deployed last night. Okay, and so you could be mad at whoever you want to be mad at. The truth of the matter is, CNN is going to be Donald Trump's media outlet for this next election.